Good morning guys, and welcome to another episode of the Ohazassu channel. This morning I'm going to be trying the cheapest coffee I could find at the supermarket today. It's 1 kilogram of pre-ground coffee by a company called Chillbreak. And it was less than 2,000 yen. It was like maybe 1,800 yen, something like that. I'll put the price up here on the screen for you. And we're not expecting amazing things, but you never know with this stuff. And because I've been working hard on, improving my brew technique, I've got a feeling that maybe we can get an even better flavor out of this kind of stuff than I could in the past. Just to let you know, I'm looking at the back, and I'll show you as well. The beauty of this camera is, I think it can focus quite nicely on this kind of stuff. We've got Vietnam, Brazil, and Ethiopia for the origin of the beans. It's a blend, obviously, but let's get going. It actually smells okay. I can confirm that it is coffee. It's not the best smelling coffee, but you know what? I think it'll do. Can you see in there? I hope I don't spill it all over the place. Quick peek. I think if I tip it too much, it's going to fall out. Anyway, I've got to get the water going. I'm going to switch over to this camera. So I'm trying this dual camera setup now. So let's see if this works out. You guys are now... I'm recording you and you're recording me. I don't know what's going on and how that's going to look in post-production, but let's try it out and see what happens. So we're switching over to the action camera now. I've got to put this coffee down, and I've got to turn this guy on now. So the water's in there. You can see the water in there, right? And we're going to turn this guy on. I'm going to go on 90 and put it on keep so that it stays on 90. All right, and I'm back on this camera now. So it's going to be fun editing this thing. So now I'm going to put that coffee on the scales, and I'm going to measure 20 grams. So we can do our usual 1 to 15, 20 grams of coffee, 300 grams of water, and we're going to do our usual pour over and see what happens. I'm going to try a 2-minute brew time. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're going to weigh 20 grams of this stuff. There we go. Okay, I've got 20 grams here of the coffee, so we're going to put this into our pourer. Okay, the hot water's ready to go. I'm going to start off by wetting this filter over here. Okay, so I've thrown that water out. Now it's time to add this. We can confirm that it's indeed 20 grams by resetting our scale and then adding that in. And we should see it hit 20. Yep. So we're all good. Give it a shake and put a little divot in there, and let's go. So we're going to be pouring 2 minutes. I started off on 20 grams, so I reset it halfway. Shouldn't make a big difference, but let's see. So we'll stop there. We're going to let it bloom for like 45 seconds, I reckon. I don't know how this is going to go, to be honest. I'm doing this double camera setup. Can you see that? It's on my neck. I don't know if you can see that, but this is how it works. It's a pretty nice little device, and we'll see how it looks on the screen. Hopefully it's okay. I'm just still experimenting with all this stuff. All right. It's been 45 seconds, so we're going to pour the rest of this. I'm just going to go with one. Pour like this up to about 80. Another pour like that up to about 120. We're going to go all the way to 300. I hope I've got enough water. We're going to go over 2 minutes. We're only going to go over by a little bit, not too much. does it. 299.5 grams. That's close enough, wouldn't you say? Alright. And our timer's about to go off. There it is. Anyway, I'm keen to see how this comes out on the camera because I'm gonna try a whole bunch of things. I mean, you guys have been here with me from the very beginning, if you've been here from a couple of years ago, and you know what? I've kind of cut off all the chains. I used to be chained up with all this YouTube pressure. I've got to look good, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I've cut all those off. I've let them go, and I'm just going to experiment and see what happens and just be myself. Hopefully it works out all right. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, because the only way that you can figure out what does work is to do things that don't work, if you know what I mean. We don't need the scales anymore. We'll put this on a coaster. We'll be civilized. We're civilized people here at Ohazassu. By the way, if you want to get one of these mugs, link is down below. You can also find it on my website over at ohazassu.com. So let's go ahead and pour ourselves a nice hot cup of coffee. As you can see, for a 300 gram pour, it fits perfectly. And this is the smallest sized mug. So you can see it's actually, for me, this is actually a normal sized mug. The largest mug would be huge. But anyway, let's give this a taste test. Wait a second. You're not going to believe this, but it's actually not bad. I don't know how they do it. It tastes like coffee. It's coffee. It's not bad. It's not bitter. It's not sour. It's all right. And you know what? I think it even said on the packet, this stuff would go well with milk and sugar. So if you're one of those people who likes to mix their coffee with milk and sugar, it's probably even better to go with something like this because it has a bit of an extra, more body than usual. It's actually quite nice, you know. I'm not getting any strange dryness in my mouth. It's smooth. It has a pleasant bitterness. It's not like an overpowering bitterness. Just goes to show, if you do things the right way in your brewing, any coffee can actually taste reasonably good. It doesn't taste bad at all. So that's a huge saving, isn't it? But specialty coffees are about 1,800 yen for a couple of 100 grams. And this stuff, as we said, for about the same price, you're getting a kilo. That's 5 times cheaper, right? How many 200 grams go into a kilo? It's 5, according to my really bad math calculations. So it's 5 times cheaper. It's the same price, 1,800 yen-ish. So yeah, why don't you give it a shot next time you're out in the supermarket. Try one of those cheap coffees out there and brew it properly. Do it well. 45-second bloom, slow, nice, gentle pouring. Total brew time of about 2 minutes, maybe 2.5. You know, I don't think it makes a huge difference between 2 and 2.5. I use Hario paper filters, the Origami dripper, and the water is probably also important. The water is filtered water, just using a regular jug filter. I'll show you in a second. Using this thing over here. So I'll just use regular filter water like this. And for the temperature, which is very important, it was on 90 degrees. Okay, so for stuff like that's medium darkish, I tend to try out 90 degrees first. If it's not enough, I'll try 92, 93. If it's still too bitter or over extracted, I'll try taking it to 87. Now, keep in mind that these numbers aren't necessarily lab perfect, okay? It's just a device on my bench over here, and there can be inaccuracies, but the temperature control will be accurate relative to its own thermostat. So that means that if I put it on 87, it's going to be cooler than when it's on 90. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's exactly 87 or 90, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's it for today, and I'm going to get back to work. There's a lot to do today, so I'm not going to get into a word of the day today, although it would be interesting if we could come up with one on the fly. Can we do that? Think, Johnny, think. Yes, okay, new tripod setup. Okay, I'm using this setup over here with my light stand, and it's got a tripod on the bottom. The word for tripod, this might actually come up, and the word tripod in katakana, Japanese people don't really understand. I've never come across someone where you go tripoddo and they get it. They don't usually get it. So the word for it is sankyaku, and it's actually a really, really easy word to remember if you know the kanji, or if you don't even know the kanji, you'll now know the kanji and you'll probably never forget it because it makes so much sense. It's 3 legs. San is 3 and kyaku is legs. So 3 legs, you can't really go wrong, right? And by the way, coincidentally, that's also what tripod means in English. Tri is 3, and pod, I mean, you go octopod, tetrapod, whatever. Pod, I believe, is legs or feet, isn't it? So tripod, monopod being the one-legged thing for your camera, right? Just a monopod. Anyway, that's enough from me for today. I've got to get my caffeine in. Believe it or not, I still haven't had my caffeine, and I'm already talking this fast. Imagine me after a couple of sips of this brew. All right, I've said enough. Bye for now.